Roll. Hey people, what's up? It's Jameel. And earlier today I accomplished my goal. I wanted to run. I live in this cul-de-sac, circle. I wanted to run around it. I want to be able to run around it nonstop without stopping and walking, stopping and walking. I managed to do that, and I the first few times were like pretty good. Then the second, third time, fourth time, all the way up to the ninth time, I ended up doing it 9 times. At the end it got slow. Then I stopped, and then what I like to do is run, do the leg weights, run, do the leg weights, run, do the leg weights, then take a break, and come back out, jump rope and stuff. Then if I can, I try my best to speed walk, get into it as much as possible, and do all that. And I don't know, I'm starting to learn. I like running more. Like the jump rope was fun, but now I'm still jump rope. I'm still gonna jump rope as much as possible. But the running seems even funner than jump roping. It's because I had to use the jump rope as sort of a catalyst to get to running. That's pretty cool. And so then I think I swallowed a bug by accident when I was out jogging. I had my mouth open and I was sitting there playing with this iPod, and I think a bug came out of my mouth and did that. And so that's what for me, gang stalking is real simple now. The stuff that happens and the stuff that goes on, it doesn't really affect me as much. It's everything the program does now is pretty much already used. And so it's not anything new. It's just now I'm looking to see how I can better myself and better everything. And then, oh yeah, I saw, I was talking about that girl. I saw her again. The program, that, I know that her parents or whatever, I know that's your baby. That's my baby too, though. Let me spend a few minutes with her and talk to her. She doesn't want to go along with all that stuff. I know. I can tell she doesn't. I'll be seeing her, and I can tell by her body language she just doesn't. She wants to be around me in a happy way. I'm like, yeah, there's my baby. Look, and then then you can tell she doesn't really want to. She'll have her head down or something, and she'll be, she wants to. Yeah, matter of fact, I remember. She's even watching this too. You remember? I saw you walk. You were in a car going down Sherman Street. And I was coming back. Now this is months ago. This is back in April. But I was coming back from. I had been drinking. This is back when I was drinking, and I was coming from a bar, and I was all lit up off liquor, and I was out there dancing. I was out there dancing at the cars, and then and then she was coming towards me, and then she couldn't help it. She just started cracking. She just started smiling, and she got this real deep smile and stuff, and you could tell the look on her face, she looked like she was opening up a box of treats, a box of goodies and stuff. And she has the same smile as her brother. Her and her oldest brother had the same sort of smile. I noticed that. And so, I'd be like, man, let the girl come out and walk around with me one time. That's not going to hurt nobody. I know that's your baby. That's my baby too. I just want to spend a couple minutes with her. Just talk about simple things. Just what type of food she likes and everything like that. I won't let no harm come to her. Matter of fact, when I was hanging out in the early summer, when I came back from Phoenix and I was hanging out in the Heights all the time, I think they were trying to get her to drive through. There was a car. There was an older white man, and then I think it was her. It was one time. There was an older white man driving, and then she was inside the passenger seat, and then there was a younger white guy in the back seat. And they came driving through the hood. I think it was her. It might not have been her, but I know if it wasn't her, I know the program was still trying to get her to come around there. And I was I felt worried. I was like, man, I can't let. I felt worried. I was like, God, if something was to happen to her, that would ruin. You know what I mean? I'd be devastated. And so after I saw that, I had went out and told people what the situation was, and I tried to do whatever I can to make sure that no matter what, nothing would be able to happen to her. I'm always up there for her safety and her happiness and stuff, and just let your let her come out and just walk. What's that gonna hurt? It doesn't. The stuff she does not bother me. With the program, that doesn't bother me. She shouldn't even have to put her head down and do all that stuff and seem all like she's doing something wrong. I know it's an uncomfortable thing, but it doesn't me and her did that for months, 3-4 months, and so it's we're both used to that, and it's she just wants to be happy. That's all she wants, is just to come out and hang out and be happy and laugh and stuff like that. That's what she truly wants. I represent a lot of happiness for her and joy for her and stuff. And she knows that. She's watching that. She knows that. She knows that better than anybody. But anyway, so I do that. I go through that, and it's like they use like man, they use my baby against me, and then and so I do that, and then the program is just so tripped out. I think there's a paranormal effect to it, because my friend Steve, he was talking about how the program can make I don't know, he gets it. I don't know what he's going through, but he talks about how the program can like send him voices in his mind and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, because he was saying that his neighbors were like mimicking him, and that somehow his neighbors were able to know what he was thinking. And I was just like, yeah, that's some deep stuff. That's pretty deep. And so, man, I'm so tired. All I do now is just work out and help people beat the program. And now I even got something better going. I'm gonna start helping people beat the program in an hour for $50 instead of a week. Because people were complaining. People were like, "That's too damn cheap." My clients were calling me like, "Man, that's too cheap. How can you just talk to people for that long?" They're like, "You should do it $50 an hour." I was like, "Hell yeah!" I was like, "Well, my clients are saying that, then I'm doing it." I'm all in. And so I don't know. I've been able to turn the program into something better. Like I've been able to strip all the things off me that I don't need, like alcohol, drugs, not drug. I never took drugs, but alcohol, tobacco, just anything. I'm tired right now. Like I don't know if people can notice or not, but I didn't beat myself into exhaustion like I could have, but I've been burning it hard for like the last 3-4 days working out, and so I'm trying not to take too much energy because I need some strength for tomorrow. And I can't. This weight's just falling off me. I can't. Like I'm looking at myself right now. I was like, damn, I'm starting to get skinny. I'm gonna have to start eating more food and stuff. Cause I don't want to be. I don't want to be small. I don't want to be skinny. I want to be able to be like, you know what I mean? I want to be athletic. I want to be able to run. I like to run now. I want to be able to get away. And not get away, but I want to be able to go fast. Like if I really want to, I just want to be like, bam, and take out. Like I'm not fat anymore. You can't catch me. And jump a couple of fences or something like that. I want to play with the program. That's what I want to do. But yeah, man, this stuff is cool. This gang stalking stuff. You learn a lot about yourself. That's one thing about it. Say, what else was I talking about? Oh yeah, for people see, a lot of people are subscribed to my channel, and I got a lot of different stuff out. See, the one thing about me is, okay, I'm mixed. I'm black and white, right? And so I grew up around a lot of black people. Then I grew up around a lot of white people, and so a lot of my subscribers are even mixed too. Like a lot of them are mixed up, and so all different people are subscribed to me. Even Hispanic people, Asian people. A lot of white people, a lot of black people. And for me, it's been real versatile growing up because I would grow up around all different types of people. Like, I would sit there and listen to what people had to say in nice suburban areas or even higher class type, white people and stuff like that. I went to schools. I went to all different types of schools. I've been to schools. I've been to private schools. I've been to schools in the hood where motherfuckers would get stabbed at the schools and stuff. Like I got to experience hella stuff, and so I would sit down and listen to what people had to say. Like I'd sit down and just listen to everything. But I noticed most people say the same stuff. Like growing up, I'd be around a group of black people. I'd be, when I was younger, I'd listen to older people talk, and they'd be like, and they'd be saying something, and they'd be saying the exact same thing as what the white people would be saying. It just come out different, and so. Like I got a cousin. See, the funny thing is I'd be hanging out somewhere and I hear somebody say in black community, I hear somebody say that damn cracker, blah 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 blah, and then I'd be hanging out. Like I got a cousin, Steve, who's racist as fuck, and he would be like, somebody would ask him to do something, and he'd be like, I'm not your nigger slave, blah 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 blah, and he'd be tripping. I'd be like, damn, that fool's out. I'm like, he's out cold, and he was crazy though. He used to steal my grandmother's car and like hotwire the car and take it to the racetrack and blow the motor. And she had this bird at her house, and he was teaching the bird how to cuss. Like he would be teaching the bird like fuck you, rah, 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 and around the bird, and the bird would take off and go say it. When she had friends over, like older, like she was an older woman. My grandmother, she lived to be like 90 something. So he was having these birds. He had this bird swearing, and he used to do all kinds of stuff, man. This dude, he was tripped out. He used to be like, he would prank phone call people and then turn the music up real loud and make the neighbors like he just did. He always had, he was crazy. He was like one of those, I don't know, he was kind of like, he always hung around older people who were motorcycle, and motorcycle gangs and stuff like that. But he wasn't like that. He didn't have like a lot of tattoos and stuff like that. But he just grew up around that type of stuff, like motorcycle gang outlaw type people. And it was funny because I used to hang around him and his friends. And so I'm mixed, right? But I used to listen to them. And a lot of them were racist as fuck. But it was kind of funny the way it was presented, though. And then I'd hang around, then I'd go, hang around other people that I was related to. And, I'd go listen to people. And they'd be saying the same, like, both people would be saying the same stuff. And so growing up, I was able to hear a lot of different stuff from a lot of different perspectives. Then that kind of is what actually helped me produce my conspiracy research. That's what got me interested in conspiracy research, was hearing different people's perspectives. And then I went through years of studying conspiracy research, but I never really put anything out. I just heard, I would hear little bits and pieces of stuff, and I always listened. And then when it came time to doing interviews, which was like a few years ago, like a couple years ago, 4 years ago, is when I started, but it wasn't until about 2 years, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, until I really started getting deep into it. Then I went through all that. Then I got into it basically with the secret societies, the most powerful people in the world. And I'm not exaggerating. Like, I intimately got into it with them. This isn't something where it's just like they were up the ladder. No, this was, I actually met the people in the secret societies in person. This isn't a game. And, they know who I am and I know who they are. But now, everything's cool now. I'm not tripping off it. But, so that happened. Then I beat a life-death situation in Hollywood, off Hollywood, the Walk of Fame, off Hollywood Boulevard, which is hell of a cool thing to me. Then I got put in the gang stalking program, and I grinded the gang stalking program out, and that was a sucker, man. That was a sucker. I didn't know. I didn't know what the gang stalking program was. I thought it was like another thing where it was going to be like a hit, then it turned out to be the gang stalking program. Then with the help of God, I was able to make the gang stalking program, look easy. But it's not me doing that. This was the help of the higher spirit. I didn't really, I tried. I did the best I could, but it was the help of that. I'm not Christian. I'm not Muslim. I'm not Jewish. I study. I have a copy of all of it. I have a copy of the, the Bible, the Christian Bible. I have a copy of the Quran. I have a copy of the Mormon Bible. I have a copy of Scientology and stuff like that. I've read these books. I don't currently read them now, but I've read deep into, theological study and stuff. And, I appreciate all aspects of what people call the higher spirit, but I'm not religious. I just believe in that there's one creator of everything. And every religion that exists is just a mechanism, a tool for people to tap into that creative power. And so for people who talk about Jesus, I got no problem with that. I'm not against anything like that. People who talk about Muhammad and Allah, I'm not against that. People who talk about Abraham, Joseph, and all that, and Moses, I'm not against that. I'm for all of it. Same thing with Buddhism or anything. I'm a very open-minded person. And so, but I pray to that higher spirit. Like I talk to the spirit all the time. And I ask for things. I ask for, so everything that's happened to me about me getting into better health and about me changing my perspectives in life and stuff like that, a lot of that has been through the power of that creative spirit. This wasn't just me doing this stuff. It was a creative spirit within the universe that helped me grind through it. And so I just give thanks to that, and so that's about what that is. And so now it's just like, man, now in my life, now I see that helping people, like before it was about me, it was all about my conspiracy research, and all this stuff. Now with the gang stalking, it's about helping other people, and So the program just changed me around. Like I used to be a real closed off person. Now I don't. I'm just open. You know, I don't care. I'm like an open book. I don't care. You know, whatever people. You know, whatever people need to know or whatever. It's like I don't care. It's like, you know, after you go through gang stalking, you don't really care too much about what people think of you anymore. You're just like, well, the program knows everything about me anyway. You know, so what's the difference? So, huh. I don't read that much. I used to read a lot. I don't really read as much as I used to, which is probably a good thing. Because reading, you learn too much and gets you in trouble. But, you know, I read magazines. Like, I like to learn about Muhammad Ali. You know, the thing about Muhammad Ali is I was putting him in my videos. I started putting him in my videos right before he died, and then he died. I was like, man, that's crazy. And then I had met him when I was younger and stuff, and he's sort of, you know, a lot of stuff he talked about. He puts a lot of his belief. I know he had turned Muslim, and, you know, I'm not Muslim, but he put a lot of his belief on the Creator, that Creator spirit, and so that's what I admire about him, is he said, I am the greatest, but ultimately he always gave thanks to God, to that higher spirit, and so that's what I appreciate most about him, is he talked a lot, but that was all part of his thing. Like, you know, he said he had to talk it up before he could do it, but he ultimately gave that glory to, you know, that creative spirit, that God force, what you know, what the Muslims call Allah. And so, you know, man, it's just now I'm before I was researching, like back in the days, research Jim Jones and the Manson family, do my conspiracy research. Now I like to look more into positive people, you know. I like to look more, and like I used to take martial arts, and I'm starting to really get back into that. And one of the things I love is about martial arts is I like the concepts behind it, not just the fighting, because I'm not really, you know, I do my best to avoid a violent confrontation with somebody, but you know, I'm well aware of how to defend myself. But I try not to look forward to that. But I like the martial arts. I like the concepts behind it, like Aikido. Like you can grab somebody and pull them towards you, and then just push, like throw them back like that. You're using your own body weight. For a smaller person, that's good. Like for a smaller person, Aikido's great, you know, because if the person punches at you, you can grab their arm and bring them into you. And it's just those types of concepts are things that I've used psychologically to grind through the program and beat the gang stalking program. What I love though is learning about kung fu. Now kung fu is rare, really, especially in the States. But there used to be a place, and it's probably still there, where they taught Wing Chun in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I used to go there years ago and learn from a guy named Master Chan. Then I learned karate here in Muskegon, and so, you know, I remember, man, I used to love when I was younger. I used to love the martial arts, but that kung fu stuff is the dopest though. How they study animals like tigers and grasshoppers and stuff, and praying mantis, and they learn from the animals different styles and stuff. And they'll take something like a big bucket of water, and they'll hit their hands against the water like this over and over, and learned it. Like they use the concept of kung fu is so philosophical. With karate is just more of a combative form. Like, you know, it's just more of a combative form. But with kung fu, there's just a whole. It's a whole way of life. And I don't know. You know, I remember I used to study a lot, and now that I'm getting better through the gang stalking, I'm starting to look back on that and learn about it. And another thing that's interesting to me is those ninjas. Those ninjas are interesting to me because I know a lot about the concepts they use, like ninjas. You ever seen those movies where a ninja will wear all red? Red is one of the few colors where you can put all red on, but it blends in with black really good. So you can have all red suit, but if you're in a room like this where it's dark, say we were dim lights, the person can blend right in. Like if a person, you see that bathroom right there behind me? If a person was wearing all red in there, you might not even be able to see them. You know? If it was about this dim, and the person can walk out and it'd scare you, and they had that ninja mask on and it'd scare you. So those ninjas use the element of surprise. And so I was able to learn a lot of these concepts when I was younger. Like the ninjas is a Japanese thing. I speak a little Japanese, like konnichiwa, or ichi ni sanyan go, or ruku nana hachi ju kyu ju ju ni. That's the 15. I grew up around a young Japanese guy, and his father was big into all that samurai stuff. And so they taught me Japanese and stuff. And I used to eat with them. I learned how to use the chopsticks, and then I was learning from them, and I was studying. I was like, man, I got to get into this stuff, right? And then the Asian women, were always beautiful. And, I always looked at Asian women as being beautiful. All women are, but Asian women too. And so, but the Japanese thing is where the ninja comes from, but it actually originated from Chinese theater, because they would have these big theaters, like opera type theaters, in ancient China, and the people would rearrange the set on stage, and when they rearranged the set, they didn't want anybody to see them do it. So they would wear all black, and black over their eyes and as much as they could, and they'd be in the shadows, and they'd rearrange the set real quick. And that's where the concept of ninja came from. But you see the weapons like nunchucks and the sais and stuff like that. Like the sais are used for digging in soil. The nunchucks, they like crack bamboo and stuff like that. Then they have the big bow stick. These were things that farmers had. And so the ninja concept would be stealth. Then they would take the farming tools and apply that to the art of the ninja and stuff. And there's a big, that's one thing that was interesting to me, was these concepts of like the ninja and ancient the ancient samurai, or like the Shaolin monks over there in China. That stuff was always interesting. Not the fighting stuff, but the concepts behind it. And so that's where that's one thing I'm doing now, is learning from these people, new thinking techniques. How to psychologically deal with stuff. I'm learning from these ancient combative arts. And so, so that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm just trying to get more positive, more deeper into spirituality. I need an instrument. What I'd like I want to give me a harmonica or a flute or something. Learn how to play an instrument. That's what I'm trying to do. Just, learn some different stuff. I'm trying to learn. I'm gonna start learning some new. I got a jump rope, right? I've been jump roping a lot. I'm gonna add some new tricks into that jump rope. Do something positive like that. And that's what I'm trying to do. Just trying to keep it going.